Now, now what I'm going to say in this video is very, very important. But I'm afraid it may not be understood by many of my viewers. And that's true. Now this video actually explains why many people cannot get what they want in life. The reason is because they betray their own person altogether. And they're no longer themselves because of money. They've made gods of themselves. They worship an image of themselves that is no longer themselves at all. And the final effect of it is that you're no longer able to get what you want. You're not able to manifest the things that you desire in your life. When you speak, you're not the one speaking. So this video is very important because it helps you to explain how in a very subtle way a man can betray himself. You see, my friends, when you idolize yourself, when you create an image of yourself, you can actually betray your true identity. And whatever you are trying to manifest in your life, whatever you're trying to desire, will not come true. Simply because you're not the person that you think you are. It's a terrible thing a person does to himself. But for some reason or other, you don't know that you're doing it. I'm helping you to understand it. So it's very important that you follow my video here. You run through this video right to the end. You will get something about yourself that you've forgotten. You will probably enjoy this clip. It will make you laugh, but please, it is in Chinese and you may not understand. But it's okay. Just go through the clip and you'll be totally amused by it. And it has a message, a very important message that I need to say.
落來，照鏡跟無停車，即時甲開走。咪嚟自做咩？無停車就是無停車，甲開走。
Wow, wow, wow. Notice how tough she is. And if you look at her, it looks like as though she would stand on the principles of truth. The laws that you need to obey, and this lady appears to be tough, wanting to obey those laws. Isn't that right?
暗控證嚇，照暗控證，價值控證，我等對路隻車落去掉。你聽空嘅嚇，你電話號碼就揭話，我唔能叫領導，伊等下來檢車，伊等車來，我等你拍電話揭咯。
哎呦我的媽！
領導，你就是教我叫領導，你走路聽，有咩事走路交代話嚇，走路紅河。 你經濟聽，馬字聽，後字聽，大後字後來聽。你視我啲電視來聽，你電視聽；視我啲聽咗歌，你聽咗歌。嚇，走路話拜，有咩事？教我大你好，字隻聽咩？全部屬於話關愛了啲，有咩事？全部交六百咩？交六9點解？哇！只隻鴨汁啊，話交六衰切嘅嚇。
I'm definitely sure that you will say that this is not me. I don't do this kind of thing. Is that what you're saying? Well, I thought everybody would think that way. But actually, this clip is actually a testimony of the fact that it's in everybody. Isn't that right? And no doubt, of course, this clip is actually an acting. That's right. The lady over there is just an actor. So there's nothing against that lady, personally. But the point I'm trying to stress here, and I think it's worthwhile for us to stress, is that we have eluded ourselves in many ways. But yet we can recognize that this actor is actually illustrating something that is in all of us. There are many things that are very important in life, isn't that right? Okay. But somehow we put them aside because we want money. We are doing exactly the same thing like this lady does. We can be laughing at ourselves, but we don't know that it's happening to ourselves. And that's the reason why I'm showing you the clip. And let's see this clip again. This particular part.
落嚟，照驚緊無停車啊！即時架開走。咪嚟自做咩？無停車就是無停車，架開走。
Now carefully notice that before she took the bait, what did she do? She turned her face to the left and to the right. So, in other words, you turn your face to make sure that nobody is looking at you. That's the first thing you did before you take the bait. Isn't that right? What actually are you doing? You're hiding yourself. That's the first thing you do. You're making sure that you're not seen. Notice very carefully. The first excuse is not exactly an excuse. You don't need even to excuse yourself. What you did was that you chose not to be seen. In fact, it's like saying, nobody knows about it, so I don't have to excuse myself, right? And that's what we do all the time. We don't notice ourselves. We block ourselves from ourselves so that we are never going to excuse it. We don't even see that we are doing it. We do everything in the hiding, and we hide even ourselves from ourselves. And that's the reason why you find that people cannot reveal themselves at all, because the guilt in themselves prevents them from revealing themselves. No, they don't want to even bother to give an excuse about what they have done. They simply don't want to see that they have done it. These are the people who spend their days trying to forget what they have done. They say that thoughts are troubling them. So what they do is to throw away the thoughts, and they say they're in peace because no thoughts are troubling them. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? They refuse to even look at themselves because they cannot tolerate themselves anymore. So they just throw away a part of themselves which they don't want to see. But do you know how terrible that can be? You don't want to see yourself. Do you know that if you don't want to see yourself, it means you don't want to exist before your own eyes? Do you know how terrible that can be? It's not just laughable. It is actually self-denial. Your very self you hate. Your very self you don't want to see anymore. You're denying completely what is me. Now, there are some religion that seems to advocate that. That's the funny part about the whole thing. Humility is a totally different thing. I hope you understand. Yes. Humility is simply accepting the other person as they are, and you abase yourself so that you could receive the other person in his fullness. You're not actually self-denying yourself. You know that? You're not. You're actually allowing the other person first place. And you're also the first place, but you have a union with him. But to refuse to see yourself because you have done wrong, because of your own guilt, that is self-crucifixion. And I want you to see now the next part of the clip. Very interesting too.
暗控證嚇，照暗控證嘅直控證，我等佢錄隻車女掉。
This is a part of the clip where she took the bait, but yet at the same time, thinking that nobody has seen her, she continued to emphasize that she's a good girl and that she speaks the truth and that she is insisting that rules have to be followed. And now you can love yourself again. You know why? Because many a times we block ourselves from ourselves, and then we say that we are still good people. We follow the rules. And that is only possible because we hide ourselves from ourselves and we don't even know that we are doing it. And that's how many people survive. What a sad thing, isn't it, right? They throw away their thoughts. They don't want to see what they are doing. And they say they are in peace. And they can even tell me and even tell themselves that they are doing right.
你聽空嘅，你電話好快就接話，我唔能叫你阿豆，伊等下來檢車，伊等車來，我等你打
Now
電話。
carefully notice this. For the first beat that she took, she tried to convince herself and she tried to convince the other party that I'm still good, I still obey the law. But now here we are seeing the second beat. The second beat was offered to her and she took the beat. Now she couldn't tell the person that she has received that she's a good girl, right? The second beat she still accepts. So now what she does is that she talked very nicely to the bait offerer, like as though she and the bait offerer are equally good. In other words, she make herself feel good by making the other party also feel good about what they're both doing. She can't hide that fact from the other party anymore. She can hide it from herself, but she cannot hide it from the other party anymore. So now she has to convince the other party and herself that they are both right. Amazing, right? That's how we do it in our mind. So what is happening is that I'm telling the other party, I'm a bad girl, you're also a bad girl. So let's together, we both hide from everybody else, but we shake hands with each other. And let's move on to the third part. This is when another bait is given, and her behavior now must change. Let's see what happens.
哎呦我的妈！
廿豆，老趙是教我嘅廿豆，碌周路聽，烏咩數周路教大話，嚇周路空河，碌經濟聽，馬字聽，後字聽，大後字後嚟聽，碌視我啲電視嚟聽，你電視聽，視我啲聽咗歌，你聽咗歌，嚇周路話拜，烏咩數，教我大你呵，字隻聽咩，全部屬於話關係了啲，烏咩數，全部嗰六bài咩，嗰六教點解？哇！只一隻噏濕啊，話嗰度衰衰係衰衰切切嘅嚇。
So what is happening? You see, my good friends, when the third bait is offered, the person now behaves as an idol worshipper. Let me try to explain what is happening. You have lost your sense of dignity. You have accepted the baits from the other party 3 times. You realize that actually I have denied myself. There are principles that I need to follow, but I didn't really follow. You realize that somewhere in your mind. So, instead of rejecting what is taking place, I now idolize the other party. I fall flat and make the other party like my hero. I make him my God. When she was moving away from that car, she even used her hand to clean the car. She used her lips to blow at the cars. What is happening? She's worshipping the car. And this is what is happening to an idol worshipper. And this is what is happening to all of us. Let me try to explain in detail. You see, we live in a world where there are a lot of attractions. but we know who we are. Deep inside ourselves, we know where we stand. But through the years, we've been accepting the base from the world. Money is more important. So as a result of which, we've been accepting every time. There's no more excuse to make. So when you don't have an excuse to make, what do? You now kiss the money itself. That's right. You kiss the world itself. You take pride that you are part of the world. And so now you go around telling people that you are a rich man or somebody who has achieved great things. You kissed the car. That's right. You worship the world. You're no longer yourself. Yourself you have kept hidden underneath the blanket. That's what I call an idol worshipper. You create a God in your own mind. You create a self of your own self in your own mind. And you begin to worship yourself in your mind and a God in your mind. But the reality of yourself, that doesn't matter anymore. That's how crazy we are. And so, realizing that we are compromisers, the next thing we did was, we said that God forgive us. We kissed the God. And we said that God is so loving and so merciful that He forgives us. Now we do all these things because we have no more an excuse for what we have done. So we cover ourselves up with an idea in our mind. That idea is that somebody else is greater than me and that somebody else can help me. And not only that, we cover ourselves with an idea that we are not bad after all. We are achievers. We have done something worth respecting. But the truth is that we forget something very important. We forget our own presence. You see, our own presence is just simply me. I don't need to achieve anything because I am that I am. Do you see the point? But you forget your own presence. You don't believe in your own presence. Instead, what you do is that you worship the image which you think you have achieved. You worship the image rather than your own presence. Be yourself. Just relax as you are. You don't have to put on a good show. You are the most important person as far as yourself is concerned in this world. You're the only person that you have. You are the most precious of all because relative to me, I'm the most precious of all. I don't have to do anything to be very precious. Isn't that right? I just have to be myself. I don't have to do a pretension. I have to be self-honest. I have to speak exactly what I am. If I've done something wrong, simply say I've done wrong and repent and forgive myself. Why do I need to go on holding on to an image of something else in order to cover me up? Have I made my point clear to you that me is the most important thing of all? Instead of throwing away your thoughts, bluffing yourself that you have done good, what is that for? Is it worthwhile? I am the most important person in my life. I think you've got some idea there, right? Follow my videos. Enjoy the journey to the soul. So before I close this video, I just want to say when we have created an idea of ourselves, that idea of ourselves began to reside in our thoughts and mind. So we're no longer exactly the person that we are, but we lived in that idea of ourselves. So, because of that, yourself is totally hidden. And no matter what you do in your life, you are never going to be satisfied or happy, because you're not there to live in this world. Your image that you have created for yourself is now living for you. And as a result of which, you're never manifesting even your own goals. As I said earlier in this video, when you speak out to another person, you're not the one speaking. Your image which you have created in yourself is speaking on your behalf. It's a pure joke, but it's true. You don't even know what you're doing. So follow my videos. As I said, I'll try to show to you how you can be yourself. That's right. But being yourself is the only way to manifest your desire, the only way to be happy at every moment of your life. God bless.